Hello and welcome into the WNK channel. I am George Herbig, Chief Forecaster here for Weather Now Kentucky. I want to thank you guys for tuning on in to this week's episode of Kentucky's Weekly Outlook. We do have a few things to cover this week. It's pretty interesting into the month coming up here. We'll take a little bit of a glance at that, but more so talking about a few other things on the table here. We'll allow everyone about a minute or so to funnel on in here before we get started. So as you guys are coming in, please hit that like button, hit the share button. We are live both on YouTube and Facebook, so you can watch wherever you'd like, obviously. If you are watching some playback later on and we're not live at that point, of course, you can just skip on through some of these parts. Make sure you guys say hello when you come in as well, so I can give you a quick shout out. AH, hello on YouTube. How are you doing? Ivy, hello on Facebook. I want to make sure everything's going okay real quickly. Yeah, we're good to go. If you do like and share, by the way, you get a little bit of a shout out on the screen. It'll be like a little alert that should pop up. So you guys kind of see your name on there. Lisa says Team No Snow. Oh my goodness. We're already starting with that. You guys know I'm Team Snow all the way, but don't think we really have much to worry with on that. Stacy, hello on YouTube. How are you doing? So again, I do want to allow about 30 more seconds to get people enough time to funnel on in here. Brina, thank you for sharing the stream, sweetheart. Thank you so much. My wife, so I can call her sweetheart, guys. Real quick, I just want to pull this down and show you what we're kind of looking at here on the main screen. We have a rain system on the 23rd, nothing much there, but we'll dive into the details of what to expect on that. I know there is a lot of people interested in going to the annual Louisville versus Kentucky game on Thursday. I'll give you a bit of a forecast on that as well, so you know what the travel may look like there. Another temperature coaster coming up ahead. It's going to be a theme throughout this winter, guys, so get ready for that, but we'll cover what to expect and when to expect it. And yes, we do have a bit of a system on Christmas, but I don't think it's exactly what a lot of people are hoping for. But we'll cover those details on that because I know there's a lot of people traveling, of course, for the holidays. So this could be an impactful system for travel. So we'll talk to people about that here soon as well. Again, about 15 more seconds. If we only have 4 shares, but we have 70 viewers across both platforms. So hopefully we get the shares up here. I would appreciate your guys' help with that. My hubby clears road, so snow is no fun in our house. Lisa, I understand that. Ivy says, go Cats. Oh my God. Let me put a laughing emoji on that real quickly. I would love a snowy Christmas. Amy, thank you for tuning on in here. I appreciate that. Valerie, hello. Mary, hello. Robbie on YouTube says, hi, George. Yes, Team Snow. So we had a little snow battle going on here. All right. We're at the 3-minute mark, so let's go ahead and get this thing rolling here. So again, what we're covering here in this forecast update on Kentucky's Weekly Outlook presented by Right Implement. A rain chance on the 23rd, a temperature roller coaster. Of course, nothing new there. And yes, there is a system for Christmas upcoming. Before we dive into everything, though, I want to get you a quick message from our sponsor, Right Implement.
For everything you need to keep your home and property in great shape, stop by Right Implement this week. We have chainsaws, blowers, and line trimmers from Steel, long-lasting quality mowers, gators, small tractors, and generators from John Deere, Honda mowers and generators, and so much more for your home and property. Let us show you what it means to be treated right. Online at rightimp.com. With 15 locations throughout Kentucky and Southern Indiana, we are the home place. Right Implement.
All right, thank you so much to Right Implement and the rest of our sponsors for helping us be able to do what we can do out here to get you guys forecast updates. So let's roll into all the details here. So I'm actually going to zoom this out to the national view here. We're going to cover the temperatures first, and then we'll cover the rain system for the 23rd, and then we'll cover the Christmas event that's going to that's coming up as well. So first, I want to look at the temperatures. A lot of you are obviously feeling right now the extreme colds that we are seeing. Actually, the coldest day. It's not technically winter yet, but anytime we get to December, guys, I know it's not technically winter, but I call it winter. I don't. Why can't we just start winter on December 1st? You know what I mean? But I call it winter. But of course, Tuesday morning, lowest temperatures in quite some time around here in Kentucky. Actually, the lowest temperatures of the year for real temperatures, wind chill wise. We actually had colder wind chills back before Thanksgiving, if you remember, in some places. However, Harlan, Kentucky, down there in southeastern Kentucky, actually reached -1 on the wind chill last night. So really cold stuff here throughout the state. I'm going to put this into motion for you real quickly. This is what we refer to as the 850 millibar temperature anomaly chart. Basically, what all that means is a few layers above our head. This actually tracks the temperature and tells us coming up here whether that temperature is below average or above average. Of course, on your screen, you can look down at the bottom and see the key there. Blue, of course, represents below average. Purple is when you're starting to get really below average. Red is above average. White is neutral. And when you start getting to the browns and the oranges, that's where you start to get really far above average. I will let you know, average in Kentucky for this time of year, so middle of December, highs are typically in the low 40s, lows are typically in the upper 20s to low 30s. So yes, we have been below average for the last 24 hours here, quite a bit below average. I want to put this in motion for you real quickly. So I know you don't have the timestamps on your screen, but I'll show you real quick. So I'm going to stop this right here. This is actually valid for the 20th. So tomorrow at about 4 p.m., again, temperatures start to swing back up here a little bit. We do see a bit of red showing up. However, this isn't super warm, guys. Not like out here for the America and Canada border up there where they're seeing a really far above average temperatures. Put this back into motion once again here. I want to show you. Actually, I'm going to skip ahead. I want to show you real quickly up there toward Canada, we actually see far above average temperatures once again, starting to become kind of a theme for them. So this is important, and I'll break that down in probably a future video, but that's important for us this winter. Down here toward our area here in Kentucky, above average, but not far above average just yet. So this is actually valid for Friday. I do want to show you that Saturday here on the 23rd, right before Christmas Eve, still slightly above average, nothing crazy. And then for Christmas Eve, we're starting to get a little bit warmer above average, and we start going to far above average category by Christmas. So this can lead to quite the event. So I'm going to actually explain that and break that down for you. But first, I want to show you the rain system upcoming on the 23rd here. I'm going to put this into the local view here for you so you can see a little bit better. And I know you guys are going to have a lot of questions as well. I'll get to those questions here in just a few moments. So skipping this forward here to December 23rd, you see some rain showers throughout Kentucky, but nothing really crazy for that day. I just wanted to mention this because again, that's Christmas weekend, lots of people traveling. For some reason, people forget how to drive during rain systems in the middle of holiday travel. Make sure you're planning ahead, giving yourself a little bit of extra time during this weekend if you're traveling. Again, people just sometimes forget how to drive in the rain during holiday season. I don't know what it is. It needs to be studied, really, but nothing really crazy there. Maybe a tenth of an inch of rain throughout some places. Most part, nothing severe, nothing crazy, just a spotty rainmaker. And we'll have more specific details on that here in a couple of days as well. I know a lot of you are wanting to know about Christmas, however. Before we get to that, I want to show you real quickly the temperatures throughout this week. Once again, this is a little bit more of the numbers, and it's a local view, so you can kind of see where you are. If you don't know exactly where you're at on the map, of course, as I tell people, has a little bit of a cheat code. Know kind of how long it takes you to get to the bigger cities. So you see Louisville here, Elizabethtown, Bowling Green, Lexington, Somerset, Paducah, Pikeville. Basically, for example, if you know it takes you an hour to get to Pikeville and you're in Kentucky, you're probably somewhere to the west or to the left of Pikeville. So again, if you don't know where you're at on the map, that's a bit of a cheat code for you. So you kind of can get a little bit of a glimpse here of what to expect. I'm going to fast forward this to Christmas Eve so you can kind of see for yourself the temperatures for Christmas Eve. Pretty moderate. And I do want to note real quickly, the highs for Christmas Eve, this actually shows Paducah getting all the way up to 65 for a high on Christmas Eve, 61 degrees in Pikeville, of course, low 60s through central Kentucky as well. I want to note to you real quick, a lot of people have this very big misconception that Christmas in Kentucky is supposed to be frozen and snowy. I will tell you that's a lot more rare than you'd think. It's actually a little bit more common to get these kind of temperatures on Christmas in Kentucky, especially over the last 15 years. I can't tell you, there's only been a handful of white Christmases I've been alive. I'm 27. Actually, I'm 26. I don't know why I just lied. I pray for it. But I've only had like 3 or 4 white Christmases I've been alive even. So the white Christmas expectation, guys, it's just not it's not very realistic for Kentucky. I also want to note to you real quick, just because it is warm on Christmas and Christmas Eve does not mean winter is canceled for you snow lovers. Typically, a more warm December actually leads to a bit more snowy January and February. Take that for what it is. That is not our official forecast. However, that is the trend over the last 2 decades. If it's warmer and a little bit more rainy in an El Nino December year, or an El Nino year in December, I should say, it typically leads to a bit more harsh winter when it comes to big snowfalls in January and February. Again, that's not a for sure thing. That is just a trend that we noticed when we were studying for our wintercast videos that we displayed to you guys. If you haven't checked those out, of course, they're on our YouTube and Facebook. You can look at those to know what to expect this winter as well. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this for actually Christmas now. You can see Christmas just as warm as well. This is actually valid for 7 p.m. Eastern time on Christmas. So when most folks are hopefully snuggling up and watching some Christmas Day movies, temperatures in the in the low 60s, the upper 50s in most locations, maybe low to mid 50s out there toward Eastern Kentucky. But a very moderate temperature profile for Christmas. This does lead to a bit more of a higher chance for rain, though. However, we actually do have a low pressure that will move through the area on Christmas, and this just does lead to quite a bit of rainfall. So I'm going to fast forward this. This is actually valid for Christmas Eve. Just want to let you know, Christmas Eve does look a little bit spotty in terms of rain. So perhaps some spotty, heavier rain showers on Christmas Eve throughout Kentucky. Now they won't be scattered. They won't be scattered. They'll be isolated, as you can see, a small pocket here toward Western Kentucky. And of course, we'll have more specifics on this as we head a little bit closer to Christmas. But I'm going to fast forward this to actual Christmas Day here. This is actually midnight, going from Christmas Eve to Christmas Day, when Santa is arriving. Pretty clear throughout the state. Again, this might be a little bit off on timing, so make sure you stay tuned for updates. But however, this is the data that we have now, so we'll display it to you. So Monday, 6 a.m., December 25th, Christmas Day, rain showers entering Western Kentucky, heading through Central Kentucky. And this will kind of be a 2 or 3 wave system. This is not going to be just one line and we're done. But however, the first line does look to be the heaviest line. So anywhere Christmas morning to Christmas afternoon, you'll be driving through some heavy rainfall. So make sure you give yourself a little bit of an extra time to get to your destination wherever you may be going on Christmas. Again, sometimes I don't know what it is. There needs to be a study done. But for whatever reason, people forget how to drive through rain during a holiday travel season. I don't know what it is. Again, there needs to be a study done. So since we are forecasting rainfall for Christmas and heavy rainfall at that, give yourself a little bit of an extra time. You already should give yourself extra time because of the increased traffic, but maybe a couple extra minutes to be able to avoid any type of rush, because you don't want to be rushing through rainfall in the middle of high traffic season. So it's just a bad mixture there. So anyway, push this on forward through Christmas afternoon, Christmas evening. You can still see that rain showers are ongoing in more of a spotty fashion in Western and Central Kentucky. And now they're scooting their way out after Christmas on December 26th through the 27th. So Christmas does unfortunately look wet. However, it is warm, so hopefully no one gets sick. But again, temperatures in the low to mid 60s for highs. Lows will be up in the mid 40s as well. Sorry, by the way, I've had too much coffee and my mouth is going a lot faster than my brain is, or my brain is going a lot faster than my mouth is. So if I'm stuttering too much, just go back and watch it again, because I've just had too much coffee today. I want to show you real quickly though. I'm not going to get into this too much because you guys know my rule of thumb. I don't like looking past about 140 hours on models. So if you guys are the type of people that like to watch models and stuff, a really good rule of thumb: don't look past 140 hours if you really don't know what you're looking at, because you can get tricked and fooled a lot by these models. So just to fast forward here through, this is actually the European model. That's what we've been looking at all night here. And I'm going to actually pull this forward, or pull this to the temperature anomaly chart once again. So we showed this earlier. Once again, this is a map that displays whether a temperature profile is below or above average for that specific region, according to historical data. I want to put this in motion here for you. We know what happens through Christmas. I want to show you what happens after Christmas. That low pressure system that comes on Christmas will actually open the door for cold air to move in behind it. And we also notice that a low pressure actually develops near the Appalachian Mountains and rides itself up the Appalachian Mountains. I will say, again, if there is a high pressure out here toward, let's say, Pennsylvania or somewhere up there to the northeast, it can actually block that low pressure all the way out to the ocean and nothing happens here. But if there is no high pressure to develop, we'll actually have to watch the end of the year for a potential snowmaker in Kentucky because of how things are kind of shaping up. Again, this is 11 to 12 days out. Take it with a massive grain of salt. This is just kind of let's let everyone know about it, but let's also not freak out or go anything crazy on it. Again, just kind of something we're going to keep an eye on here in the WNK page for everyone. But just a little quick tease there for any snow lovers that might be in here. If you are a snow lover, you're rooting for a bit more of cold air. We've actually had plenty of rainfall and plenty of moisture available. The only issue is we've had no cold air at the times of systems. And in fact, the only snow that we saw was actually on Tuesday, or I'm sorry, on Monday, And most people, when they saw the snowfall and the snow squalls in eastern and central Kentucky, by the way, there were some people that got crazy amounts of snowfall within 10, 15 minutes. When I say crazy, it was only about a half inch, but a half inch of snow in 10 minutes is nuts. But it is kind of wild to note that the only snowfall that we have really seen so far actually came on a day where most people were 36 to 38 degrees. No one was freezing until after the snow ended, right? Did you guys notice that at all? The reason for that is, even though it was above freezing here at the ground, it was really, really, really cold above our heads, not far above our heads either. So typically, when we have a system come through, the next layer above our head, 1,000 millibars up or whatever, 1,000 millibar level, I should say, that is also very close to the temperature that we have here at the ground. However, just a few hundred feet above our head was already below freezing. And then as more you go up, the more it went colder. So the freezing level was actually really close to the ground, which is why we were able to see snowfall on Tuesday or on Monday in Kentucky, despite most people being above freezing. It was actually a pretty cool um, scenario that developed, and then some of it looked like a little bit of a mini blizzard in some locations. So the videos that I was seeing, now obviously it wasn't a blizzard. We didn't see foot of snow. Um, but some of the videos, I was man, the wind was whipping. The snow was going so many different directions. The forecast was definitely on par. Snow squalls did occur, and there were quite a few accidents, unfortunately. But luckily, I didn't see any fatalities from those accidents. So looks like we got by on a good note there. But it was a pretty unique system that we don't see very often here in Kentucky. Usually, snow squalls don't make it down here whenever we're that dry. But it was pretty cool to see. It was pretty cool to see. There was actually some lightning during that event in Louisville. It was snowing and lightning at the same time. So if we had a little bit more moisture available for that system, we could have very reasonably seen thunder snow occur in Louisville on Monday, which was a pretty cool thing. If you've never seen thunder snow, I really hope, even if you're not a snow lover, I really hope you get to witness thunder snow at one point in your life. The only time I've seen it in my years was back when I was a senior in high school. That year I was graduating in March, we actually received 22 inches of snow from one storm here in Radcliffe. I don't know, I might have to go back and find the video, but I was actually on Fox National News as a senior in high school, actually giving them a kind of like a community report. And now I had no job with them or anything like that, but it was really cool to do. The reason we ended up with 22 inches of snow here in Radcliffe is because we actually had to see thunder snow multiple times throughout that event. It was the coolest thing that I think I've ever seen in my life. Um, you actually got to hear thunder rumble, see lightning in the sky, and it would bright up. It would light up these massive snowflakes that were coming down. It was the coolest thing I've ever heard or seen in my life. If we had snowfall rates of like 4 inches per hour that night. It was insane. It was insane. If you have never experienced thunder snow, even if you're not a snow lover, it is one of the coolest things that you can see. I promise. Oh, Logan says, Merry Christmas, George. Hope you have a good one. Thank you for giving us the latest weather updates. You're awesome. Logan, thank you for your 200 stars and your kindness. I appreciate that so much. My wife says I like the cup you got behind you, so I was gonna show this anyway, but you got me this early Christmas present. As you guys know, we are expecting a baby. We lost our first one with due to a miscarriage pretty early on. Actually, pretty late on for that situation that we had. But it's a really cool cup. Thank you, my wife, for that. Also, thank you again, Logan, for your kindness with your stars there. That's all the information I have for you folks. If you are just now tuning in to our video here, I am George Herbig, Chief Forecaster for WNK, and this is the end of our broadcast. If you are just now tuning in, of course, this video will be available on our YouTube and Facebook whenever it's done processing. So here in about a few minutes, you'll be able to watch it at your own leisure, skip through some of the dead periods. It's all right, Bo. Sorry. I just wanted to see if that link worked for you guys, because that's a good way you guys can work on moderating stuff throughout bigger scenarios. Absolutely, Tara. Absolutely. Correct, Amy. I don't think it's anything bad. Again, all the details are throughout this video, so you can actually go back and watch the video. However, we have reached the mark here. I wanted to end at 20 minutes. Perfect. I don't know. I was going to show it anyway. But I'm going to sign off here before I keep talking all night and make this video a lot longer than I want to. I'm George Herbig, Chief Forecaster for WNK. Until next time, stay safe, Kentucky.